Today we're going to make veal scalopini. Simple and easy dish. Let's look at our ingredients. We have veal. We pounded our veal nice and thin. A little flour for breading on the veal. Then we have onions, mushrooms, some fats, butter, and vegetable oil. A little bit of Marsala wine, stock, garlic, seasonings. So we take our veal. We use seasoned flour, just simple all-purpose flour. We're going to add salt. And we're going to add white pepper. You could use black, but we usually use white with veal. Be generous with your seasonings. It's all good. Mix it a little bit. Let's heat our pan. Our pan needs pretty high heat to start with. So we're going to get it going. We're using whole butter, and we're also using a little bit of canola oil. Vegetable oil, any will work. Reason, butter has water and milk solids. It'll burn. So we add a little bit of fat, otherwise known as canola oil, to temper that, but we get the butter flavor. Really tasty. So we're going to add some of both. It's a fair amount in the pan. We're not deep frying, we're pan saute. Saute is a dry heat method, pretty gosh darn hot, but not smoking. Don't burn it. Okay? So we take our veal, lightly flour, lightly flour, lightly flour. We put it into our little cup here. Dust a little bit. You don't want so much flour it's going to stick, but just enough to coat it. We call it farnier. It's good. A little bit. Shake, shake, tap, tap. Next one. Oh, wow. Look, butter's almost ready. A little bit hot. Let's kick it down slightly. It's just perfect right about now. We're going to add our veal. Can you hear it? It's talking to you. The butter's melting. Perfect. So we take our veal, 2 pieces, slide it in, always away from you so you don't splatter. In we go. Do you hear the sizzle? Should sizzle. Nice and hot. Tap, tap. Always in away from you so you don't splatter, don't burn yourself. Nice and easy. It should sizzle. Should be pretty hot, not smoking. We're going to wait for one side to brown. Once that side browns, we're going to add our mushrooms. Then we're going to add our onion. We're going to remove the veal before we do that. We're going to take the veal out so we can cook the remainder of our ingredients. Let's look and see what this looks like. We're looking for slight browning. Not yet. Almost. The edges of the pan are starting to brown. That's a good thing. Nice flavors. Almost. Not quite. Shake the pan a little bit. Get some fat underneath the meat. Shake the pan. Starting to smoke a little bit. Take it down. Okay, we're going to turn this over. Nice and brown on one side. Turn that over. Almost done. We're going to finish this veal in the pan. We don't want to overcook it. So we're going to take it out and let it rest. It needs to rest a little bit. Just let it rest. Now note how much fat that we have. We have a lot of fat in here, right? A lot of fat. So we're going to degrease this a little bit. We're going to degrease this a little bit, take some of that fat out because we don't need that much. We need just enough to saute our mushrooms. So mushrooms go in, just enough. This is one order, could be 2. Mushrooms go in. Our heat is still fairly high. Shake the pan a little bit. We do that as chefs. We like to make noise, we shake the pan. Why are we shaking it? Not just to shake it. Fat goes underneath the moisture. Makes them nice and brown. Fat, what's the purpose of fat? When I say fat, what do I mean? Butter, I mean pork fat, I mean canola oil. Fat is a heat transfer. It transfers heat. We got to cook these a little bit. Make them nice and brown. Lower heat. Make steaming. Steaming and mushrooms are gray. We don't want that. So nice and easy. Now, we're going to add our onion. We need to sweat the onion. So we're going to add a little bit of onion. Gosh, what haven't we added? What haven't we added? Seasoning. So I have a little pre-blended salt and pepper. I'm going to add some seasoning to the pan in different levels. In the beginning and in the end. Shake our pan a little bit again. This is medium heat. Be careful. Nice and easy. You don't want it to burn. Next, we're going to put in our Marsala wine. You could use Madeira. Mushrooms have browned. Add our wine. Wine goes in. Pull it off the heat. Don't want to burn yourself. Pull it off the heat. Alcohol will burn away. Don't worry. Smell that. Wow. Smell that. Whew. Smells like butter. Smells like raisins. Smells like it's beautiful. It's a really nice flavor. Can you smell it? We're going to add our chicken stock. Chicken stock goes in. Now we need to let this simmer. 3, 4, 5 minutes. Reduce this to a syrupy texture, finish with butter, put our veal back in, plate it. Gosh, doesn't get any better. We reduced that sauce down to, reduction meaning make less. We reduced that sauce by over half. So now, what do we have? We have a nice, thick, kind of syrupy texture. We're going to take that veal that we had, we're going to slip it back in, back to warm it up. Also, the flour that was on the outside has two purposes. It adds a browning characteristic to the veal, but that little bit of flour in there at a medium heat is going to help thicken the sauce a little bit more, right? So we're going to warm that up. We're going to warm that up. All we have to do is warm it up. Warm it up because you're going to plate it. That's our next step. So we're going to take this veal over to our plate. And we're going to plate. Right into the middle of the plate. Simple. 1 piece, 2 piece. Then our sauce is going to go back to the stove for finishing. Okay? We're going to finish with a little seasoning. Let's taste it, because you got to taste it, right? If you don't taste it, how do you know? So we're going to take a little bit and taste it. Almost perfect. Needs a little bit of salt. So, pinch in. Voila. Butter to finish at the end. Butter's an emulsifier. A little bit of parsley for pretty. Got to have pretty. So, shake. Remember we like to shake? Why are we shaking? We're getting that butter to emulsify into that dish there. And a little reduction. Our sauce is almost done. Look at that go right there. Delicious. Mushrooms, onions, wine, butter, stock. This is so simple. Keep it simple. Keep it simple. Cook it right. You'll be a winner every single time. Delicious. Here we go. Let's plate. So we have mushrooms. We have our sauce. Over. Wow, look at that. A little bit of sauce around. Let it flow. Voila. There you have it. Veal scalopini, like Cordon Bleu style.